Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Katie Sissine Show. As always, I'm your host, Katie Sissine, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. Happy Thursday. One more day till Friday. Tomorrow we'll be at beautiful Sycamore Lane Crossing in beautiful Blue Ridge, Georgia. So come out and see us live in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. You'll never have a dull moment there. It's going to be very relaxing, hopefully nice weather. It's finally summertime. So if you want to be a part of our live show and check out our panel live, you can go to Sycamore Lane Crossing in beautiful Blue Ridge, Georgia. Don't miss it. And remember, you can follow me at FYNTV on Twitter. You can also find me on Facebook at that same location on the Katie Sissine Show at FYNTV. And remember to purchase merchandise on Fetch Your News and also follow our YouTube channel, Fetch Your News. Now, before we get into today's topic, which is campus carry, we are going to check out a video that we showed last segment. As a reminder for those of you that were not with us, it's a quick little snippet and mixed up by probably a student at Kennesaw State University, and they did a good little mashup of people saying whether they were for or against it. And the video is about 50-50, probably more against, but anyway, let's check it out for you to see.
I mean, I'm always concerned about like all those campus shootings and school shootings and stuff.
There should at least be somebody there who can defend themselves.
A female can feel protected if she was able to carry a gun.
It's definitely something good. Have the ability to defend themselves if need be.
Fight back rather than just, being another target.
I honestly don't think there's a point to carry a gun on campus.
Kids our age should not be allowed to carry guns around on campus.
I disagree with the campus carry bill.
Well, I'm kind of paranoid when people have guns around me because I was in areas where people had guns around me.
What are the risks that we would face doing that?
The question of who knows what they're going to do with the weapon and why they're carrying it.
He can just feel the need to want to use it just because he thinks he's quote unquote cool.
That makes campus a lot less safe.
If you go to a party and something happens and you're carrying a gun, people are going to make decisions that they're going to regret one day.
Do you know how often I get road rage? If I had a gun on me, just...
I think that it's a great way to protect yourself.
Guns in the proper hands do make us safer on campus.
But at the same time, I don't feel like every person should be able to carry a gun on campus.
If someone were coming to murder people at the school, they would probably be using an automatic weapon, and I don't think that someone's gun would be able to stop them.
So, welcome back to the Katie Sissine Show. I've got a caller on the line. Hello, Rachel?
Hi, Katie.
Hello, welcome to the Katie Sissine Show. Thank you for talking with us today.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. There's a little Bitmoji of Rachel right there. Very enthusiastic Bitmoji. Ha. And Rachel, how do you feel about campus carry? As you know, Nathan Deal has approved campus carry. He approved it a week from today, last Thursday. And he said, at the present time, assailants can and do target students knowing full well that their victims are not permitted to carry protection. So do you think that do you agree with Nathan Deal? Do you disagree essentially? What do you think?
I think that they've been trying to pass this bill for a long time now. Before, when they weren't able to get it passed, there was even a big uproar at KSU. I know you featured that video. And there was even a professor who got arrested. I think basically I'd rather have the people have the weapon and then be registered and know how to use it in self-defense only, or be able to face the repercussions of it, and just follow the regulations for it. A lot of people have used the schools as safe havens, and I guess it's just different. A lot of people are just not going to be used to people having those firearms on campus so easily visible.
Right. The way I see it is that I was in a self-defense class, and the teacher said our only method of defense, if someone were to walk in the room with a gun, is for everyone to attack. And it's I don't see that actually happening. That seems like a fantasy movie. What I see actually happening is someone pulling out a gun. And I don't think that person should be punished if they have a permit, for pulling out a gun in self-defense.
Right. Most of the people who do have a concealed carry weapons are usually registered firearms people. Obviously, it would only be a police officer who would know how to react in a situation like that. Anybody else would probably just be a normal bystander just with their weapon that they're allowed to have on them.
Right. And we can't have a police officer in every classroom. And even if we did have a police officer in every classroom, that still doesn't cover the campus premises outside of the classroom.
They would have to do metal detectors like they do in poverty-stricken areas like the south side of Chicago at the entrance of every dorm or every classroom, which, like, obviously there wouldn't be room in the budget for that.
I totally agree. And I also think that people would be uncomfortable with that because they would have to, you know, sometimes be searched unnecessarily. And then everyone would complain about that. I think that people, they want to dislike the idea of concealed carry, but when it comes down to it, for their protection, they don't. But it's just like this big cultural divide. You know, I feel like the left, as far as concealed carry goes, the left is on one side of the spectrum and the right is on another. Do you adhere to a particular political party yourself?
I don't really align with one.
Okay, but on this issue, you would align with pro campus carry or not sure?
I'm definitely for it.
Okay. Well, that's another university student that we've had on the Katie Sissine show that has been pro campus carry. I see good support for this. You know, if there are protests, then I want to hear what y'all have to say. I will rewatch what you guys had to say to remind others, and I will show others what y'all had to say to remind others why allowing campus carry is important. And, you know, it specifies a handgun. You know, it's not like you can carry automatic weapons on campus. You know, I think people are envisioning something crazy and drastic when it's really just very subtle. So
yeah, I think they're more worried about it getting into the wrong hands, but at the end of the day, it's up to the nature of the individual human being itself, whether they're going to use it for good and for self-defense and not use it to, you know, add to another one of our...
Hello? Is she there? Hello? I can't hear you. I think I'm muted. Unmute me, Rachel. Rachel. Unmute.
Says error. System error.
Error in the call. Well, I have to say, I am very lucky this week. Very actually being sarcastic. I'm super unlucky with calls this week on the Katie Sissine show. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see if she calls us back. I'm going to send her a text, call us back, and we'll get Rachael back on the line and see if she calls. Just kidding. All right, so 2 students out of 2 that have been for campus carry. Neither of them, I know Rachael doesn't identify with a political party. Neither of them identify really with a political party. I know the first caller offhand. Here's Rachael. She's calling us back. Hello?
Hey, I think I lost signal. Sorry. I'm like...
It's okay. It's okay. So, you know, until recently, Georgia has expressly prohibited the carrying of firearms in school safety zones. And you know what? I think this has almost encouraged people to attack on campus zones. So if someone has the, you know, ambition to attack someone and they know that they're a student, they're more likely to attack them on campus because they know they won't be able to carry a gun on campus. Do you agree with this? How do you feel about this?
I agree. I feel like with any organized crime or act of terrorism, obviously they're going to plan it out. They're going to know that students are going to be vulnerable. They're not going to have access to weapons. I mean, we're lucky at KSU that it's like their own police force. Like they're bigger than normal, like student, like campus police officers at other schools and stuff like that.
Right, they are. I noticed that.
Yeah, they have a heavier presence, I think, in large scale, for sure. Compared to the universities I've attended college at, normally it's just like okay, at Chattahoochee, for example, it's just the one cop at night at a technical college campus.
Right,
really?
That's Chattahoochee Technical College.
Yeah,
Just,
like really?
Right. It's nothing. What's that supposed to do? And, you know, as an individual, if you take the time out to get a permit for concealed carry, you know, why should you be prohibited to take that with you everywhere that you go? You know, why are you some places that you go?
It's your constitutional right.
Exactly, the right to bear arms. And they're trying to take that away from students. Now, believe it or not, there was a girl, she looked like a freshman or sophomore. She looked younger. I am judging, but she did look younger, like an underclassman. And, you know, Rachael is a junior or a senior? You're a senior now?
I'm a senior.
And she is a communications major. So if she's making me look bad with current events, she's a communications major. Okay, people, they have to talk about this stuff in class. So she did know about what did you say, a teacher got arrested?
Yeah, that was the last time that they tried to pass it. There was big protests. KSU was heavily writing about it in the Sentinel and all their other publications. Even AJC wrote about it because we have a lot of people that go to school and work for AJC. So they were all covering it. There was massive protests. The teacher had gotten arrested. They had all, went to the court hearings and stuff to try to fight it. But that's your right, too. That's your right to protest against what you don't believe in. But at the same time, if it's our right to bear arms, then wasn't it like we already had the right to have it there anyway? Just follow the rules.
Exactly.
Even if you shoot someone, even if it's not out of self-defense, be prepared to face what you did for it.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's almost as if students are being treated like second-class citizens. They're going to say that if you got a permit, you can shoot, you can have a concealed carry if you got your carry permit, but not if you're on campus premises. It's like when you're on campus, you get that right taken away from you. It's like, why should we? Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, why should we restrict an amendment? Why are we restricting an amendment, especially in an area where you have a more educated population than the norm, and i.e. a college campus?
Yeah, I think the problem is a lot of times, they're protesting like we don't want guns on campus, blah, 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 but did you go out and vote about it, though? Probably not.
Right. And the same people, that's the same people that say the most about the presidential election. I feel like that's a common occurrence. People want to talk. The less people act, like the more they want to talk smack. That's how I do. That's how you can say that. That's the one way I've come out to say that without cuss words. The less people act, the more they want to talk smack. That's just the trend that I see. Anyway, Rachel, I want to thank you for being on the show. And Rachael, communications major, senior, very involved, very up to par with the news that's going on. What do you think? What do you think about the people that oppose this? Like, do you think they're missing something?
They probably have only their views and their learnings of what, weapons are. Like, they probably only look at it like, okay, look, we're the only country who's had all these mass shootings. They probably are the ones that think it's going to happen more. At the same time, like, we don't know. There's not, like, exact methods and procedures. There's not statistics of what's going to happen. We don't know yet. It's too soon.
Right.
But they're so against it, they should be more, I guess they should do more research in the fact, of the pros, too. Like right when you write a research paper, you got to look at both sides. You can't just look at your side only.
Exactly.
That's the way the news is and how everyone is opinionated. They just want to look at it through their, rose-colored lenses only.
Yep, I totally feel you on that. All right, Rachel, thanks again for being on the show. Hope you have a nice day today, and we'll talk to you soon.
I will. Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to cut to a break. When we get back, we'll have another caller on the line from Kennesaw State University. And I have no idea if he is pro or con. I have no idea if he's against this or for this. So it's a mystery to us both, or us all. Stay tuned into the Katie Sissine Show. We'll be right back with you.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
El Rey and Elijah. El Rey Mexican Restaurant. Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings. Great prices, friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine. Patio dining available. Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1. Eat in or take away. Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Katie Sissine Show. You are back with us, and we are talking to Kennesaw State University students, a Metro Atlanta college of tens of thousands of students. Last time I checked, it was 25K. I don't know if that was with or without Southern Poly. So we just got off the phone with a caller, Rachael. She's a communications major, and she said that at this time about last year, there were protests about the campus carry. And it wasn't passed. They've been trying to pass this bill for quite a while. And it got so crazy last year that there was even a teacher, professor that got arrested on campus due to the, I guess, not so peaceful of the protests that they had. And we took a look at a video of various Kennesaw State University students saying how they felt about campus carry. It was about half and half. Some students were unaware that you had to have a permit in the first place to carry a gun. One student was unaware from what she said. And there was another student that said that, you know, that kids our age shouldn't have guns, that we're not responsible enough. But in reality, you know, we're in a system of higher education, the university system, so we should be trusted with guns more so than just any other civilian, in my opinion. But anyway, I've got a caller on the line. We're gonna get in touch with him. Hello, D'Angelo?
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for speaking on the Katie Sissine Show today.
Hey, my name's D'Angelo Williams. I'm a journalism student at Kennesaw State University.
All right, you're a journalism student, so you keep up with current events pretty well?
Fairly well. It's finals week, so.
Right, it is a busy week. We won't keep you from your studies, so don't worry. We just, 10, 15 minutes, if you want to tell us how you feel. Are you aware that Nathan Deal approved the campus carry on university campuses last Thursday?
Yes, I'm very aware. It's been all over my Facebook, YouTube, people making videos about it. So, yeah, I heard about it. You read a couple articles on the HAC.
Oh, okay, great. How do you feel about the governor approving concealed carry on university campuses?
Me personally, I'm not completely sure how to feel about it because I don't know, like me, I don't carry a gun. I don't have a permit myself. But I feel like a lot of students don't really understand what it takes to get a permit, and a lot of students are going to feel unsafe about it. So me personally, I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to wait and see what happens, but I feel like a lot of students won't like it,
Right. Now, I think that Nathan Deal made a very interesting point, and I want to read this to you, and I want to see how you feel about it. So he said that at the present time, assailants can and do target students knowing full and well that the victims are not permitted to carry protection. Now, do you feel like, with that said, do you feel like a campus carry could be a deterrent of attacks? Because these assailants would know that the students are allowed to carry a handgun to defend themselves.
I don't believe it'd be much of a deterrent in the sense that I think if someone's trying to rob someone, I don't think they really care. They would really care about it, whether or not. Like, to rob someone, you already put your own life at risk, so I'm not really sure how much deterrent that'd be. But maybe I'm wrong. It's possible.
No, like, let's say that the people that think about robbing people know, well, this person might have a permit, and since they can carry on campus now, they might actually have that gun on them because they're now legally allowed to. Now, do you think that would be a deterrent for assailants that are trying to rob students, which is more common than attacking with another gun? Do you think it could be a deterrent of further attacks?
I think it's possible, but I feel like I want to see a study done on it. Because I think it's possible, but I'm not. But just because it seems to make sense doesn't mean that it actually makes sense. So.
Right, but didn't you and I talk about statistics class? And the one thing we learned from statistics class is that you can't really trust statistics. Things are just so spontaneous. What does your gut instinct tell you? If you had to be the man to choose, what would you choose for the safety of your students? Would you try to seek other measures like metal detectors?
I don't think metal detectors work. Like, personally, I think students are generally pretty safe, you know. Like, crimes don't happen all that often on campus, depending on your school. I just think we're mostly safe enough. It's kind of what I think we are. And I feel like, I'm not sure if there's anything that we could do that would make students more safe, you know.
But, you know what, I feel less safe when I don't have my amendments. And the Second Amendment on the Bill of Rights is the right to bear arms. So as a student, why can't I have that right?
I feel like the argument against that would be that some people can't control themselves, and just having a gun around could escalate the situation if it gets heavy. Some people might have the option to use it. I think that's an argument that people might use.
Right.
That, yes, sometimes students have fights. If a student was to have a fight now, they have the option to pull out a gun. That's what they might say, something like that.
Right. I had one person in Facebook, because as you know, I have a public Facebook, and I allow people to comment on political issues. And you did comment on this post today that prompted me to contact you. I knew you were already interested in this issue prior, but I really wanted to contact you after I saw you asked me how I felt about the issue. Now, me personally, I am for concealed handgun carry on Georgia campus premises, for students' right to self-defense. Now, of course, I don't think that every person with a permit will bring their concealed carry on campus, but I think that if they feel the need to, if they're in a dangerous situation, or if maybe the school was attacked or a school around the area was attacked, and they feel like they want to protect fellow students if something were to happen in their area, I feel like they should keep that right and that Second Amendment to bear arms. But someone else that commented on the post, I know is in the Army, he's in the Armed Forces, and he said, so I thought he would be an ultimate like pro campus carry, but this is what he had to say. He had to say, proper training and classes must be implemented to allow that. I like that. I think that's interesting. He said psych evaluations as well. He said, I support the Second Amendment, but to be honest, this generation is very naive in terms of firearms. He said, I was one of the few kids in basic training who had shot before joining the Army. To allow any of them to just go buy a handgun and carry it would be setting up disaster. Okay, well, you have to have a permit in the first place. So maybe he's not aware of that either. But anyway, he went on to say lessons in gun safety and etiquette as well as general knowledge should be implemented first. So maybe we could still go on and piggyback off of what he said. Should we maybe, require a more extensive training and psych evaluation before we allow people to carry on campus?
I think that'd be reasonable. I think that's something that I could personally go with, because even getting a permit, I'm not sure if that's necessary to ensure someone has the proper training,
Right. We had another adult who was a teacher at my high school, and she said criminals don't go through the system to get their weapons, so you will be defenseless against them if you take them away from those that follow the rules. Now, see, that's the angle that I come by, is that the criminals that get them, they're not going to come through the system anyway. So we've already got crazy people to deal with. Now, if we get people who aren't crazy, who are permitted to carry firearms, and allow them to do so on campus, then odds are, if you're in a classroom and someone with a gun walks in, there's someone in your class there who can shoot him back. Does that make you feel safe?
Not necessarily. I mean, it makes me feel the type of way, like if that was to happen, I feel like it's possible the person who is not the person pulled out the gun to, I guess, perceivably shoot people could accidentally shoot somebody, you know, if they don't, like the whole idea of proper training thing. Because, like, it's one thing shooting a gun, I think, in a shooting range, but it's a whole other thing shooting a gun in a actual situation where things are going down. Like,
right, but I mean, when people get gun permits, are they not required to have some kind of basic training? They're not.
Yes, but I'm not sure if basic is enough for that type of situation.
So what do they have to do to get that gun?
Kind of like your military friend was saying, just more in-depth training of how to respond in those types of situations specifically, you know?
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but, you know, if the person is able to get a gun permit, then I don't see why they're not allowed to bring it on campus. I mean, I think that, you know, what's reasonable is, yes, more extensive classes for the student. I think that's the best kind of compromise that we've been able to come to. So maybe, you know, this bill can be amended to be more suitable to both sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, we're going to have to come to a compromise. Because we've always got the left and we've always got the right, and neither one is going anywhere. But they might meet in the middle. That's really, you know, that's our only faith. I had another student at Kennesaw State commented, he said, guns keep us safe, and the more safety folks in possession, the better. And a guy said back, but if the argument is guns don't kill people, guns kill people, do you trust the people? What if one of those safety folks is the next school shooter who was just allowed to carry a gun on campus? So, as always, people are for this and then they're against this. So there's nothing we can do about that. We have come to a good compromise idea, though, haven't we, D'Angelo?
Yes. Thank you.
And you were unsure when you first got on the line today, but now you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with, you know, some amendments to the bill in place?
Yes, like I'm always been one for compromise. I'm neither on the left or the right. I'm more of a moderate, so.
Very nice. So do you adhere to a particular political party in terms of politics? You don't have to tell me which one, but do you have one?
No, not necessarily. Like, I mean, I generally go with Democrats, but I don't really agree with Democrats. I don't agree with Democrats like half the time, so it's not really anyone that I myself will exclusively, you know.
Right. So with that said, I think it's clear to say that this is not a partisan issue. You know, most issues run deeper than sheer partisan level. And I think a lot of conflict, you know, gets boiled down to which side are you on? Are you Republican? Are you Democrat? Are you liberal? Are you conservative? When in reality, it's just people need to do their research and figure out what the best way to a compromise is. But the one thing I don't want to compromise is the Bill of Rights. What about the Bill of Rights? Do you believe in the freedom of expression and the right to bear arms?
Yes, I do. I believe in freedom of expression and right to bear arms, although I do believe in reasonable regulation. So.
All right. Well, D'Angelo, I want to thank you for being on the show today. You've been very helpful and insightful as a guest, and we hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.
So we have 3 students from Kennesaw State University that we've talked to. 2 today, 1 yesterday. None of them adhere to a particular political party. D'Angelo claimed more so the left side. And he was the only one that did not immediately, say that he was for the campus carry. We had 2 students that were for it and 1 that was willing to be for it with amendments to the bill in place that would allow for a more extensive psychology test, background check, and training given to these permit carriers. And that was suggested by a member of the Armed Forces, Jared Mayburn. He commented on my public status. So thank you for being a part of the Katie Sissine Show, all of those that commented on the status today. And remember, you can follow the page with the specific archives of the show, in addition to daily questions, at the Katie Sissine Show on FYNTV. And follow me on Twitter at KatieFYNTV as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with you tomorrow from Sycamore Lane outside from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia. See you then.